Hey, I just actually stopped off on the side of the road after I went to the gym today. And by the way, I went to the gym today. I'm such a different person when I get to work out in the gym. To me, I know not everybody feels this way, but I just feel like I'm at home and I feel like myself. And the last few times I've been there, I just get all like choked up. Just feeling that feeling like so good in my body, and so grateful to be there. So, that's my plug for exercise. Like, that's helping so much for me to feel like myself and feel present and get good rest. So that's back to getting on track for me because I now have someone who's becoming a really dear friend, watching Vivi a few hours a week so I can do this stuff. And since I saw you guys last, I have been experimenting with working in meditation, as I suggested that you guys try as well. And I have to say, just super honestly, that it's been really, really challenging. And Vivi has been going to bed kind of late. Our naps are a little bit off. So when she's asleep, I'm just dead tired, and usually I fall asleep actually in her room on the floor and often wake up at like 2 a.m. So that's kind of out for me with meditation. So what I've been doing is meditating in the morning. I tend to wake up before she wakes up, just laying down. And then if she takes a nap and I'm not holding her, I will do a little bit of sitting meditation then. If I am holding her, sometimes I hold her for her afternoon nap. I'll meditate while I'm sitting with her. For me, I think I've mentioned this before, there is no comparison between a full sitting meditation, which for me is just like half lotus on a meditation cushion. And I am one of those people that does the fingers on my knees because I really feel that flow of energy that's completely different if I'm laying down. So there's really no comparison for me as far as being able to focus, being able to really feel the feelings coming up and allow myself to stay present with that. Laying down or sitting like in a chair, for me, I'm not sure what the physiology behind it. I know energetically it feels just like night and day, like two completely different activities. And when I'm able to do a real sitting meditation, it's just so much of a deeper experience for me. I'll take what I can get, so I'm kind of fitting it in where I can now. And I want to honestly say too, I don't know if you're feeling this way, but it's really, really hard to prioritize meditation. And I love that I called the last video Prioritizing Peace, because that just kind of came to me and I just sort of put it up there really quickly without thinking too much about it. And gosh, it's exactly what I need to be doing. And by labeling it that, it clarifies for me that when I'm not prioritizing that, I'm not prioritizing my peace. Because my experience without meditation is that my mind, like I mentioned, tends to run the company. And that's not the way really I enjoy living the most. So I'm continuing to work with that, and I'll continue to check in with you guys on how that's going for the rest of this book project as well. So this is ongoing. We're not going to stop after this week and just forget about it. We're going to continue to just see how we can create a space for that in our lives, because it's such a meaningful, life-changing practice. Which leads me to the next thing that I wanted to say, which is a realization that I continue to have kind of over and over about different things and on different levels. But I think maybe I'm more starting to generalize it and get it a little bit more. And that is that I don't want this to sound negative, because I don't mean it in a negative way, but my life pre-baby is obliterated. I think there's part of me that kept thinking I'm going to get back to this or that. And my life pre-baby, I was at the top of my game. like with my health, my eating, my self-care, my exercising, massages, just like maintenance health thing, like dentist, even that kind of stuff. All of that, the wheels have completely fallen off for me a while ago with all of that. And I've had this concept that, oh, I'm going to get back to those things. And what I was realizing the other day is that absolutely, I want to be doing those things in my life, but rather than getting back to something that is impossible to get back to, A, you can't go back to the past. B, my life is completely different. My life pre-baby was my time, like, except for working. I was so autonomous in my work and did it on my own time. And it actually served like a social purpose for me, and served me in a lot of other ways as well, even though I'm thankful not to be doing any anymore. It ran its course. But that took up such a small part of my life. The rest of it really was dedicated to being on top of my game with my health and everything else that allowed me to live optimally. And on top of that, I was teaching courses on raw food. I was teaching courses on consciousness transformation. I was listening to podcasts all the time and reading all the time. And I just don't have that time in my life anymore to do those things. And and I love my life. I love spending my time with my baby, and I love getting to just be with her every day and experience being her mom. She's the biggest delight and the biggest joy in my entire life right now. And I'm so grateful for her. And I guess my point here is that we just have to really be real with ourselves. And sure, I could have someone nanny her all day long, every day, and have an approximation of my old life as far as, my self-care and all that goes. I could absolutely do that. And that to me is not what I want to do. I want to really take this opportunity to, while I'm doing my main job and fulfilling the delightful, wonderful, amazing role of being Vivi's mom, which is my favorite thing in the whole world, that I take the opportunity to create in a completely different way optimal health for me now. So that is kind of a revelation for me. I don't know if that sounds like a duh thing to you, but it's a revelation to me, the idea of really like creating something completely different rather than getting back to kind of an old paradigm. So I'm grateful to know what optimal health feels like for me, and I'm approaching that again, but I have to say I'm kind of nowhere near where I was before, and that's okay, because my life has completely shifted and I am doing completely different things and really learning how to integrate eating great, doing juices, exercising, great sleep, and all the supportive activities that I did around my state of being, and finding out how to live that with a baby in my life. And the last point I want to make is that we have this magical opportunity as moms to not only like get a sitter like I did today and go to the gym. Like it's important to get out and do things, I think, on our own for ourselves too. It's just a different feeling, and it's just really nice, honestly, to just be responsible for me, and I find I can really concentrate on just feeling my body, and when I'm not really completely focused on Vivi. So I think that is important, but we have this incredible opportunity to live this with our children. I'm sorry about the cameras like all over the place. I'm actually just holding my phone, obviously, in the car. Hope it's not making you seasick. But we have this amazing opportunity to live this in front of our kids, not only in front of our kids, but with our kids. So for instance, Vivian has her own meditation cushion already, and we just sit on it together, and we practice breathing, just, I just kind of break it down and do what she can do in that hierarchy. And that is my gift from being a speech pathologist, is my brain instantly breaks everything down into a hierarchy, and then I'll go to the level where she can perform and then go up a little bit to challenge her. So that's just an example, though, to bring our kids into our practices that are transformational and help us to live in ways that we feel amazing and have a great experience of life and are just super supportive of our highest alignment. And they get to grow up with that. Amazing, right? So it's not like just getting away so we can do that for ourselves. It's also bringing them in and teaching them that, and not unlearning in them those skills and intuitions and gut feelings that they already have about themselves. So I just really feel like being moms and having these awarenesses, it's such a gift to our kids that a lot of our parents didn't have. So I'm going to sign off with that. Oh, you can see I'm wearing my Cyndi Lauper shirt today. Cyndi Lauper to me is like the patron saint of being yourself as a woman and just living out loud. And I just love her so much. I used to pretend that she was my mom, and so I would think, what would Cyndi Lauper tell me to do if she was my mom in the situation? So I have a huge fondness for Cyndi Lauper. So much love. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you one more time this week. Bye.